Open your eyes, your mind, your heart. Let's have a school choice conversation.
On this edition of Choice Conversations, we're at the Good Shepherd School in New Orleans, where we visit with Ronald Briggs. Good Shepherd is moving from its home of 17 years in downtown New Orleans to the heart of this Gentilly neighborhood. Briggs shares his thoughts about the move, his role as a staunch advocate for educational choice, and the mission of Good Shepherd.
The Good Shepherd mission is to bring the best education possible to not only low-income families, but really the underserved, those that really have been forgotten. That's really the driving mission, and to make a difference and an impact that'll last a lifetime, to enable them to become good, productive citizens, and to give back.
How does the Louisiana Scholarship Program fit into Good Shepherd's overall mission?
How does the scholarship program fit in with Good Shepherd? An integral part is really, if you had to say it in 2 or 3 words, and I've been involved with the scholarship program since 2008 in Baton Rouge, when we started out with 680 children got on the list. We'd made the commitment at Good Shepherd that we needed to get involved and we needed to get out front because it was just so critical. Long-term sustainability of these missions of our type, inner city, faith-based schools, require that kind of funding, a portion of that funding. You have to do your own, but we knew that without that it would be very difficult from a financial standpoint to continue on our mission. And our part of our drive has always been our mission and those we serve, but how do we sustain that? The first 10 years of our mission was kind of just survival, you know what I mean? We just survived. But the scholarship program gave us a real good shot at long-term sustainability.
You've taken a very active role in fighting for and protecting the scholarship program. Why is this so important to you?
I guess it's just a fire in my gut, you know, and it's our founder, Father Harry Thompson, was just taught me a whole lot, and he made a big impact on my life. And once you really looked at the children that we serve and you really understand without what we're doing, they really don't have a shot. We can't break the cycle without giving them a good education. We can blame everybody we want to blame, but at the end of the day, without a good, holistic, I believe, foundation, you know, it just won't work. They just won't survive. So the more I looked and the more I, in those days, drove the projects here in New Orleans before Katrina, I knew that something had to be done. And I said, I think I'll take on that challenge.
Today, in a city where there are considerable school choice options available, what is the Louisiana Scholarship Program's place in this landscape?
Where does the scholarship program fit in with all the other school choice options? And that's a great question because really, as everybody knows nationally, after Katrina, people started to have choice when choice came here in the charter schools, and then we got the vouchers, and now we have the TDR program. I think that the scholarship program fits ideally for really low income, I call them at-risk kids, children, and the faith-based part of the holistic approach to teaching and raising children. And most of our parents, all of our parents in fact, are on free or reduced lunch. It's hard for them to pay tuition, impossible in a lot of cases. So it just gives a viable option, not only to the parents, but to the schools to carry on their mission. I just think it's really critical. Moving to this new location here was a very, very big decision. It took us a long, long time. We spent a lot of money moving here and things. And And everybody said, well, what happens? You know, what happens if you lose the scholarship program? Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get it. I mean, we would be devastated, and it would be extremely difficult to carry on what we do without the scholarship program. Truly, truly blessed. Just an integral part of being able to carry out our mission, without a doubt.
We are here in this beautiful new building in the heart of Gentilly. When selecting a new site, why was it important to build it here?
Location was, like in real estate and any business deal, and most of our people are on our boards are all business people, location, location, location. And we had looked for almost 2 years downtown New Orleans, because that was really Father Thompson's deal, is to be downtown, and people that were working downtown in entry-level jobs could drop their children off, we'd educate them, they'd pick them up in the afternoon. But with the medical center expansion and other things in New Orleans, it just got cost prohibitive where we just couldn't. And quite frankly, when we made this move, we don't want to make another move for another 10 or 15 years. It's just too costly and too time consuming. So we looked, we studied our demographics, we studied where our children came from, and right at 40% of our children come from from 3 zip codes that are at our new location. Public bus lines is available here. It just really looked like the real deal. The drawback, and somebody said, well, you can't get your people, your business people, to come by on their lunch hour to mentor in the afternoon. And so it was not a perfect decision, and we were actually on an outreach of Immaculate Conception Parish on Barone Street. So to leave that parish, and we didn't leave them, but to relocate away from them was very, very difficult. But at the end of the day, we felt like it was the right thing to do, and we certainly today feel like it was the right thing to do.
What is the most impactful experience you've been involved with at Good Shepherd?
Well, there are several of them, and I'm not sure I can get through them. But I just happened to bring a piece of paper because I talked to the faculty right after this, and just try to explain to them what is different here. And not that some of these things that I'm going to read don't happen in every school that serves our type children, but we have it here a lot. So here's just some things that happened in 2008, Christmas time, when I asked one of our students about her excitement next week, Christmas, and Santa Claus. And she looked me in the eye and she said, Mr. Briggs, I already have all I need. I mean, I was just blown away. She was either in the, first, second, or third grade. 2005, we had a father killed in a McDonald's robbery. It was in the newspapers and all that. And then within a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the significant other male in the household was murdered on the playground in front of this little girl who was one of our students, and she was in fifth, sixth grade. She never missed a single day of school. She never missed a single day of school. And so I just wondered, I mean, how does that happen? One of my other stories, and then I get to telling these stories, 2003, one of the early years, we had a young man named Ignatius, just after St. Ignatius, and but not really named after it. But so that night it was dark, it was in the winter, and somebody came to pick up Ignatius, and the principal comes upstairs and tells me, Mr. Briggs, you got to come down. We got a little problem here. What's the problem? She said, well, here's an 8-year-old going to pick up Ignatius. So I said, well, how are you going to get Ignatius home? She was 8 or 10, the girl picking her. Well, we're going to ride this bus, and then we're going to ride that bus, we're going to get home. No. We're not going to do that. Get a parent here. Get a guardian here. And the guardian came, and about 3 days later, no Ignatius, he didn't come back. So we called the guardian and said, where's Ignatius? She said, I made the decision to put him in a school across the street because it's closer and more convenient. And I never forgot that one. Let me just read you one more and see that was not a good one, but memory to me. In 2010, we had a 6th grader who we just couldn't, her conduct was terrible, just couldn't get it straight. And so the father, we called the father in for that. The mother, I don't know where the mother was, and just said, you know, you've got to come in a conference. So as we worked through the conference, we found out that that child, mother, had been strangled 3 or 4 years before that. No one would tell the little girl what had happened to her mother. And one day, she just keep wondering and wondering about what really happened to her mother. And she goes on the internet and does a little research, Google, and finds a Times-Picayune article that says her mother was strangled. And then the car was set on fire. So you wonder why you have discipline problems with that little child. So it's those kind of things that really impacted me, and things I won't ever forget. Sometimes I have to have a note to refer to them, but it's not, you know, it's not perfect, but we are making a heck of a difference. Not only us, but people that do stuff like we do. And I'm convinced we're saving lives. And we're grateful for all AFC has done for us. We couldn't be where we are today without that. I was fortunate enough in 2008 when we got the first deal to wait in line with some of these parents. I saw what they were asked, original documents to produce to even qualify, things that I couldn't come up with, you know. So AFC was there. We went through those struggles, and we've just come a long, long way. And it's always been, people say, well, you know, I said there has never been a case where we had a child that someone in that family didn't step up for. I've never met someone, or that guardian or whatever, sometimes it's grandma, sometimes, that don't want better for their children than what they had. So it's a rewarding mission.
Thank you for joining us for Choice Conversations.
Open your eyes, your mind, your heart. Let's have a school choice